Okay, it is official. Tom Brady has finally announced his retirement from the NFL after 22 seasons and 7 Super Bowl rings. That is ridiculous. That's not including all his Super Bowls that he appeared in that he lost. I mean, we're talking double figures for his Super Bowl appearances. Possibly the most dominant quarterback of the modern era. And people will argue he is the greatest of all time. Now, I would argue if he was drafted 5, 10, maybe even 15 years earlier, his career is a lot shorter. Rules have been changed in the NFL to protect the quarterback, which he has benefited from. He has also benefited from possibly having one of the best coaches of all time in Bill Belichick for the majority of his career before going to the Tampa Bay Buccaneers for the last 2 seasons. And even there, he's reunited with Gronkowski, who came out of retirement to win another Super Bowl. I mean, you could argue that the Manning brothers, Drew Brees, Ben Roethlisberger, he's played amongst some contemporary greats as well. And admittedly, they've won less Super Bowls between them than he's won overall. That is what is so ridiculous about Tom Brady and his consistency. I think it's going to be difficult for another quarterback to probably equal his Super Bowl appearance record, his Super Bowl wins in 7, and the amount of seasons he played. There are some great quarterbacks out there, and there's some great quarterbacks that came before who've lifted the Lombardi Trophy, but I don't think when it comes down to just consistency, any quarterback comes anywhere near close to what Tom Brady has achieved in the NFL and in American football in general. People were surprised when he decided not to retire after leaving the Patriots, and they were very surprised when he went to the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, but he made a success of it there as well. Absolutely outstanding career, and the results speak for themselves. You could, as I say, you could argue, had he been drafted earlier and played 10 or 15 years earlier after being drafted, his career may not have been as long because the rules at the time, the quarterback had less protection. It was a much more dangerous position being a quarterback when you were basically getting drilled by the defensive unit. You were getting hammered, sacked quite regularly. He's been quite lucky in the fact the rules changed, the game evolved, and there were protections put in place to protect the quarterback from dirty late hits, basically, that years previously were acceptable in the game. But his longevity and playing into his early mid-40s, ridiculous. He wasn't drafted first overall as well. You have to remember that. He was a later draft pick. But his career, he has been so consistent. And people will say he is the greatest of all time. And there'll be others who say, okay, yes, he's had a very long career, very consistent, not had a lot of injuries during his career. He's defied the aging process, some would say. And there are some other great quarterbacks out there. There's some young, talented quarterbacks, and there were some other quarterbacks of his generation who were equally as talented, just weren't on as successful teams and didn't have as many Super Bowl appearances. And of course, Tom Brady, he does divide opinion. Obviously, you got Deflategate and then the videotape gate as well, where the Patriots were, alleged to have cheated and had underhand advantages, which has divided opinion. But Tom Brady, he's got to be possibly one of the greatest athletes of all time for what he's achieved. So I don't think any quarterback gets close to Tom Brady's record of Super Bowl appearances and 22 consecutive seasons. I don't think any quarterback gets remotely close to the records he has set. And we may never see those records broken. But there we go. Place your thoughts on Tom Brady in the comments section below. I think I've been privileged. I think many people have been privileged to watch his entire career in our lifetimes. There'll be those NFL fans who are younger, who were born after he was drafted, who won't remember his early days. But for the majority of my life, he has been playing in the NFL. He was drafted when I was 10. I'm now 32. That just shows how long he has played at the top level. And an outstanding career with some controversy in there. I think every great player has a bit of controversy in there. But I don't think any of his records are equalled. Anyway, I'm going to leave that there. Thank you very much for watching. Please place your thoughts in the comment section below, and I will have some more videos for you very, very soon.